Hey guys, welcome back to Toy Foolery. I'm your host, Pigface McGee, and today we're taking a look at King Ohger, the Red Ranger from SH Figuarts. Before we get into the figure, let's check out the box. On the front, we have a cool picture of the Red Ranger. On the back, on the side, a photo of the toy. On the back, we have more photos of the toy posing. Some English, a lot of Japanese, and that's it. Actually, the picture on the front may actually be of the. Nope, look at his hand. That is actually a render. I mean, actually a photo. Is it? I don't know. You guys tell me. I have no clue. It looks like it based on how the shoulder connects to it, but also the costume is actually very modular, so it may actually be a picture of the toy. And if it is, I'm super impressed already. But let's get it out the plastic and see how cool this toy is. So this is cool. Blah, blah, blah. If I could speak, that would be great, but I cannot. Kugawata Ohger, or the Red King Ohger. Super Sentai. If you guys aren't aware, there is a thing outside the US called Super Sentai. That's what Power Rangers was based on until its untimely demise after 30 years, or technically after 15 years after the first time it died. But this is King Ohger. Really love the design because unlike normal Power Rangers where it's mostly their spandex, this is a more modular armor. So outside of the helmet, normally Power Rangers have a lot of like spandex, and as you can see, they are actually kind of like bug knights. So this is your normal run-in-the-mill SH Figuarts. Some really good joints, actually some really good joints on this for posability. I think my only gripe so far with this that I've seen so far is that the shoulders pop off too easily. As I was taking out the box and trying to get the sword in place, I did that by accident, and I think that's going to be super annoying when posing. I think you can get around it, but definitely not something that's ideal for a $60 action figure. I think that's going to be my biggest gripe, is that this toy costs a lot and the shoulders are going to fall apart on you real easily. But other than that, actually really good. I like the articulation. Is a SH Figuarts, as you can see, drop hips, some good waist articulation. Yeah, I think once you get into a position you want, you're not going to want to move it because, as you can see, I popped the sword off and the shoulder just by playing with it. But you can get this in some really dynamic poses. See, we have some toe articulation, some ankle articulation. The knees are double jointed, even though they don't give you that much range. But I'm okay with that because very few humans can actually kick their own butt. And it's proportioned well. It's actually very well compared to the Lightning Collection. Now, I guess a lot of people are going to ask, how do these figures fit with the Lightning Collection? So, well, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Of course you're going to do it. And he did it. 1 second. That's better, and he's standing now. So let's take a look at his accessories, and then I'll put him up to scale against the Lightning Collection. So as you can see, we have their sword that helps them transform their, I guess is their changer and their weapon. We have some expressive hands, the sword holding hand, and some more expressive hands. Not the greatest spread of accessories, but SH Figuarts usually, especially for the newer Super Sentai figures, have been focusing more on making sure that the toy can stand the test of time, because some of the older SH Figuarts, the hips are as bad as a new version of the Condiment King. They just jiggle. They're good at first, but they fell apart. These look a lot thicker, especially in the thigh joints and the points where they connect to the torso. So hopefully these hold up better and can stand the test of time on shelf, but only time will see. But these are very few accessories. I guess there's not much to give this Super Sentai Ranger, because technically they really don't have that many different accessories. So you have to excuse me. I suck at posing, is literally the thing that I do worse. I love the action figures. Sometimes I can get into some decent poses, but for the most part, I'm going to have some really static photos, maybe some cool back shots, but nothing, phenomenal looking like I've seen some of you guys out there. But as you can see, the new SH Figuart body for Super Sentai actually stacks up pretty well to this the Lightning Collection. They're still a little bit skinnier, but the height is so much closer. Before, I used to say that the SH Figuarts was like 5.5 inches scale, and it didn't help that they were super skinny. But as you can see, the girth on them is a little bit different. Not quite as they're not quite as wide as the Power Rangers, but they actually almost match up. It's actually closer to the 6-inch scale than it was before, so that's super cool. Yeah, I'm a fan of the SH Figuarts for Kamen Rider and for Super Sentai, so I actually collect a lot of those. I don't collect a lot of the auxiliary characters except for Two Kaiser, because he's the best. But other than that, I usually just get the Rangers and the main rider. In this case, I'm hoping that they do release the other King Ohgers, but I'm going to go on a limb and say they're not. They're going to stick with red, because I imagine that even in Japan, the Red Ranger is king, literally and figuratively. Yeah, so let's go to my final verdict. So my final verdict on this is wait for a discount. See if you can get it secondhand imported or secondhand on the aftermarket and get it at a discount. I don't think it's worth the full price, even if you're a huge fan of King Ohger. Just the way the shoulder joints are set up, it makes me wary of it. It's a really cool figure. They did a really good job with the sculpting the armor. As you can see, the detail on the back and just the armor in general is phenomenal. But little pet peeves like the shoulder pads popping off, even though that's very common for SH Figuarts, I'm not a fan of that. I'm okay with the figure itself, but things like that annoy me. That's the reason why I avoided the Guts figure and the Griffiths figure, because they have that same issue of not staying together. Now, if you are planning on just having it on your shelf in that when a single pose or whatever pose you put it in, absolutely. I still say wait for a discount. Try to get it secondhand if you can. Do not pay full price for this. It's not worth the $40. Actually, got it imported for $40, not $60. If you buy from a reseller in the US, it'll probably be $60, $70. Try to get it from overseas. It might take a little bit longer to get here, but it is totally worth it if you don't have to pay $70 for this thing. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.